host of the meal takes their napkin to go put it on their leg, that means it's time for you to do it too.
Mm-hmm.
That's you right now with me. And
Especially
the
if it's the queen.
Yeah.
No one can eat till she eats, and no one can leave till she leaves.
Mm. And what is there? There's a 75% clause too with service. Not with. Shabbat Shalom, friends.
Shabbat Shalom.
To celebrate being together, we're going to begin with a song about being together. Hine Ma Tov. And if you'd like to follow along, we don't have our normal slides tonight, but if you have a prayer book in front of you or with you, then you can turn to page 10 for the words of Hine Ma Tov, or you can just sing along from what you remember. Hine Ma Tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad. 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 Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
A little bit different this evening. The crowd is not what we normally would have on a Friday night. And for those of you who are joining us virtually and wondering why our service is at 5:30 this evening and why is it that it's a small but mighty group of folks who are with us in the chapel this evening, it's because we told most of the congregation, don't come to Shabbat services tonight. Go and be with your friends at what we call Night of 50 Shabbat dinners, where our congregants across the South Palm Beach County area have opened up their homes to fellow members of the community and joining in great numbers for Shabbat dinner this evening. But there are still meaningful moments to be held in a Shabbat service this Friday night. This evening, I am sitting here in a wonderful small group of people, knowing that around the world tonight there are folks who don't have the safety and comfort of a small group of people to be with, or a large group to be with. This week we marked the first and hopefully last anniversary of the war between Ukraine and Russia, and there is a sense around the Jewish world in particular this evening to have a special place in our hearts for those Jews living in Ukraine who are fighting so valiantly for their nation's freedom and fighting on behalf of our people, including President Zelensky, who we proudly hold as one of our own. We're also aware that in the community this weekend, how should I put it? There are some people who would rather stick their fingers in our eyes this weekend, and I'll leave it at that. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's probably for the better. But there's a sense that tomorrow there may be some mishigas around the Jewish community, and we're hoping that we will see none of it. The words that Cantor Jake sang to begin the service, Hine ma tov u'manayim, shevet achim gam yachad, how good it is, how wonderful it is when brothers and sisters and friends and family can come together. Tonight, all across our community, here in the Beck Family Chapel and in homes around, we are all gathering together to say how lucky we are. How lucky we are to gather in peace and in safety. How lucky we are to live when we live, where we live, so that we can celebrate Shabbat in whatever way feels deep and meaningful for us. And so as we welcome Shabbat this evening, I would encourage you, as you look around, find someone who's sitting near you that you don't know very well, introduce yourself to them, and wish them a Shabbat Shalom as we gather this evening. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Our service begins this evening on pages 2 and 3 of our prayer book, and if I can invite Clarice Goldstein up to help lead us in the kindling of our Shabbat candles and the making of Kiddush.
As these blessings, these candles give light to all who behold them, so may we in our lives give light to all who behold us, as their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. You want me to do the Hebrew?
Take the candle and the holder, light the candles. The building is still here. No, you don't. And you put it out exactly what we wanted you to do.
Okay. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen. We turn to pages 4 and 5 to bless this day with Kiddush.
Oh, I'm doing the other side too. You want me to do this first?
Yeah.
The heaven and earth were finished, and all their array. On the seventh day, God finished the work that God had been doing, and God ceased on the seventh day from all the work that God had done. And God blessed the seventh day and declared it holy, because on it God ceased from all the work of creation that God had done.
We can take the cup.
Oh, so
Just
beautiful.
from right there. Hold it high up in the air. Can Jake?
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reshit ki hu yom tehila lemikra'e kodesh zecher litziat Mitzrayim ki banu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim v'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava u'veratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim to Jake. I'll drink for you.
See, on the video, it was on Clarice the whole time, so Clarice, it's going to look like it was you singing, which I'll defend that. I'll go with it. Thank you so much. Absolutely beautiful.
Each Shabbat, as we enter into whether it's a Shabbat dinner or gathering in the sanctuary or the chapel, the ministering angels look down upon us and look to make sure that we are ready for this Shabbat. And so we greet them with the words of Shalom Aleichem, page 24. I invite everyone to please rise.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boechem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Amlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Seitchem leShalom, Malachei HaShalom.
Baruch Hu, page 28.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai Hamivorach, Hamivorach Leolam Vaed. Hamivorach, Hamivorach Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated, and I invite you all to join with me in reading on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or.
Umavir yom umevi laila, umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, Talmidim lo chaleinu leolam vaed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv aravim. Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha Ahavta, Torah u'mitzvot chukim u'mishpatim otanu limadeta. Al kein Adonai Eloheinu yishochteinu v'kumeinu nasiach bechukecha ונצמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל.
Please rise.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated as we continue with the words of Ehavta, page 36.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
I invite you all to read responsively with me on page 39. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. Together, the high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt we were delivered. At Sinai we bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Let us continue to work for the day when nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea.
Yadai da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yadai da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yadai da 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 da, yada da 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 da, yadai da 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 da, yada da da da. Mihi chamocha bailim Adonai, mihi kamocha nedar bakodesh, Norah tehilot o sefer, Norah tehilot o sefer, ma'alechutecha ra'u banecha, o ke'ayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam, Anu ve'amru Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed v'nemar gifad Adonai et Yaakov ugalo mi'al chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
Please read with me the bottom of page 43. Give us a place to rest, Adonai our God. Bring us into shelter in the soft, long evening shadows of your truth. For with you are true protection and safety, and in your presence are acceptance and gentle love. Watch over us as we go forth. Prepare for us as we return. Spread over us your shelter of peace, over all we love, over our Jerusalem and yours. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Amen. We welcome Shabbat with the words of Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Israel Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורתם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תמרית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תמרית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדור תמרית עולם.
In a moment, we will rise together for the words of the Amidah, but before we do, I invite you to take a moment and reflect back upon this week that was. What were the moments of joy and celebration that you wish to carry with you into the week to come? What are the moments of pain or sadness that you look forward to leaving behind as Shabbat turns into the next week, tomorrow evening? And take a deep breath. Deeper. And invite us all to rise on page 46.
Adonai sifetai tiftachu fi yagi teilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot V'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer, Moshia U'Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham v'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol, Atah Rav leHoshia, Mashiv HaRuach u'Morid HaGashem, Mechalkel Chaim bechesed, Mechaye HaKol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha ba'al gevurot, Umido melach, Melech memit umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechaye hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, Ukroshim b'chol yom yahalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh.
Please be seated as we move into moments of silent prayer and meditation, finding your space and your peace, and whatever conversation you want to have with the Holy One. Now is your time.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech Adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Ketov einecha levarech et Amcha Yisrael bechol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam. Tasim Leolam.
Shabbat Shalom. One of the pleasures of being in the Beck Family Chapel for our worship this evening is that I get to watch myself on TV the whole time it's happening. In the sanctuary, in the Sacred Sanctuary, there isn't a monitor that you can see from the bima in the same way. And if you wondered, is it incredibly distracting for us to see ourselves on TV during the service? The answer is yes, it is very much. And what's especially distracting is to realize how much taller than I am Jake happens to be. Because until Jake joined our clergy team, I was the tallest member of the clergy team, if you could believe it or not. Jake, I'm happy to hand that mantle over to you. But as I was looking up and reflecting on that, I was thinking about an interesting piece in our Torah portion this week, Parshat Truma. Parshat Truma is our people's very first capital campaign. And no, Moses didn't take everyone out to lunch and ask them to make a 6-figure gift to ensure the future of the Jewish people. Instead, God said to Moses to tell the people of Israel to bring whatever gifts their heart was so moved. And God articulated a few of the things. We need gold, we need silver, we need bronze, we need dolphin skins. Where they found dolphin skins in the desert, I have no idea. They need wood, they need these kind of linens, they need these kind of threads and yarns and all these good things. But what results is this amazing building project where the Israelites fashioned the tabernacle, the Mishkan, the place where our people went to worship the Holy One while we were wandering through the desert. And what we learned from this, the rabbis say, is that it wasn't just that the people who had gold and silver and had a spare dolphin skin in their back trunk were able to make a contribution. But as we see the way in which the project of building the Mishkan went through, that there were people who didn't have what to give in terms of physical items, but they had other ways that they could contribute. Betzalel, the artisan, the artist, the architect, designed the entire Mishkan. And he and many, many others offered not their physical goods, but their goods of wisdom and insights. How to build a tabernacle that will be both stable and portable. How to design it so it is beautiful, beautiful enough to pay tribute to the Holy One. And there were people who needed to do some of the manual labor, the cutting and the slicing and the this and the that, and there weren't bricks, but you can imagine the bricklaying and the pipe laying and all the different things that it takes to go into building something. You can contribute that way. And what if you were unable to use your hands because you were a member of the Jewish people and were not particularly well coordinated most of the time? Well, you could be a water drawer. You could bring water to all of the workers to make sure they stayed hydrated. You could be a schlepper What's a schlepper? We need nails. I got it. You run over and you get nails. Everyone in the community had a way that they could contribute. And the project was designed to say, anybody who wants to, we will find a meaningful way for you to contribute. Synagogues around the world continue to take on capital campaigns. Thank God for us, we're done. But the notion that part of a responsibility of a community is to find a place for everyone. Part of the responsibility of a community is to give everyone whose heart is so moved to participate. That's what it means to be a part of the Jewish people. And even though the project of building the Mishkan came to a conclusion some 3,200 years ago, the project of building the spiritual Mishkan, the tabernacle of the Jewish people, continues with each generation as new folks are brought into the community. And so as I think about what it means to build a new version, a new generation of the Jewish people, it is my honor and privilege now to invite up Lance Kirschenbaum and Samantha Cowan, who in a very short period of time will join each other under their own Mishkan in their chuppah to be joined as husband and wife. And so I can invite you both up to join me here on the bima, please.
Bruchim abayim b'shem Adonai beirachnu hem bevet Adonai.
Lance and Samantha, I don't know how long it's been since you've been in Hebrew school. I'm guessing it's been a little while. But I have a short Hebrew lesson for you. Because in Hebrew, the words for man and woman are very closely related. The word for man is ish, spelled aleph, yud, shin. And the word for woman is isha, spelled aleph, shin, hey. If you're keeping score at home, you heard two letters that were in both words, and two letters that were in only one word. The two letters that were in both words were the letters aleph and the letter shin, which together alone formed the word esh, which means fire. And the two letters that were separate, one in each word, were letters yud and hey. You put those two letters together, they form the beginning of, or the fullness of, one of the names of God. What does that mean? Well, it means that when an ish and an isha, who are designed and destined to be together, find each other, their letters rearrange, and what exists between them is Eish Hashem, the fire of the Holy One. That passion the two of you feel for each other, which has driven you in your relationship thus far and will drive you to join each other in your first home under the chuppah that you will join each other under, is in part lit and warmed and illuminated by that fire of the Holy One. And when a couple who looks so wonderful together and who is so happy together, that radiance that's coming off of their face is also in part the fire of the Holy One. And one of the things you need to do is find a way to grab onto that and ride it and let it keep you warm and let it also drive you as you go. And as I mentioned a few minutes ago, the theme of this week's Torah portion is of building things, building homes, building buildings, building Mishkan, tabernacles. As you join each other in your wedded home in a little bit of time, we have a gift for you on behalf of the synagogue, a mezuzah that you can inscribe and install on your door, whether it's your front door or a door in your home, to know that the fire of God is with you even in your home and especially in your home. And so we say to the both of you, Mishaberach Avotenu V'Imotenu, may the God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bless you in all of your comings and all of your goings, and all of the work of your hands and all of your endeavors as a man, as a woman, as a couple together. We say together, Amen. Amen. And go ahead, you can kiss the bride. Mazal Tov.
Simin tavu, mazel tavu, simin tav, mazel tavu, simin tav, mazel tavu, simin tav, yehelanu.
I'm going to invite everyone to please rise now as we take the spiritual uplift of the words of Torah to guide us as we offer prayers for healing for those in our families and our community who are suffering from illness and injury. We say, Mishaberach Avotenu V'Mitenu. May the God who blessed our ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bring the gift of refuah shlema, of healing of mind, of body, and spirit, to those in our family and our communities who are suffering this evening from illness and from injury. We think tonight and pray for the healing of Lila Abrams, Meredith Abramson, Jim Alexander, Fred Belkin, Nikki Benhamo, Sandy Berman, Margie Berman Block, Jenna Lynn Blackman, Emmett Blasberg, Kathleen Bowersox, Dorothy Buxbaum, Ed Burns, Andrea Colton, Chloe Comis, Chana Simcha Bat Moshe Yechiel V'Harav Kayla, Michael Costin, Shelley Darman, Evan Dash, Rhonda Finlay, Shelby Ford, Lorraine Freeman, Daniel Franks, Marty Fromowitz, Harry A. Gaines, Kenny Gershon, Larry Guys, Ross Goldstein, Myra Halley, Bonnie Hirsch, Marsha Hoffman, Keith Hammer, Jack Kalmanson, Ken Canoff, Marilyn Cass, Karen Keats, Judy Kornitsky, Marie Koppelman, Ethan Kotler, Barry Leeper, Susan Myers, Corinne Miller, Mordechai Ben Sarah Fega, Linda Nagler, Robert Knappen, Claudia Plasky, Lisa K. Pruitt, Brittany Ramos, Jackie Robinson, Eileen Rosenbaum, Alan Rosenfeld, Abby Shine, Kenneth Shore, Barry Sinrod, Nancy Sinrod, Elaine Smith, Samuel Vainberg, Sharon Talvander, Linda Walshin, Joan Weidenfeld, Tom Weidenfeld, Bernice Weiss, and Lynn Winters. If there are others for whom you are praying for healing this evening, please share their name as we go around the congregation. And those of you joining us from home, please think of your loved ones at this time who are in need of healing as well. We say, Baruch Adonai Rafei HaCholim. We praise you, Adonai, who helps bring healing to the sick.
Misheberach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We remain standing and turn to page 282 for Aleinu.
עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הארצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר להי אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
A few brief announcements. Torah study tomorrow morning at 9:30 in our Beit Midrash, and Shabbat services next Friday will be at 6 p.m., where we will welcome Rabbi Sergio Bergman, who is the head of the World Union for Progressive Judaism, which is the umbrella organization for reform and progressive congregations everywhere outside of North America. We're very much looking forward to hearing from him and his assessment of what's going on in world Jewry. If you are here for the Shabbat dinner, for the night of 50 Shabbat dinners, that will be in the Beit Midrash after the service concludes this evening as well. At this time, our thoughts turn to those who have come and gone, those whose lives brought us celebration and joy, whose memories live on through us as a blessing. As is our custom, if you are here in a period of mourning or observing a yahrzeit, we invite you to rise as the name of your loved one is recalled. Tonight at the yahrzeit, the anniversary of their passing, we remember Arlene Aberly, Edward Applebaum, Bruce Barron, Belle Bernholt, Leonard Bernstein, Edward Barron, Lila Borden, David Bossi, Etta Bratman, Ida Bersuker, Selma Charney, Robert I. Chavis, Ellen Cohen, Morris Cohen, Arthur Cordover, Doris Dallow, Ada Epping Durr, Dr. Nathan S. Deutsch, Lenore Dissler, Edith Duritz, Abe Eidenberg, Norman Eidenberg, Captain Moses Aney, Edna Emmis, Paul Enfeld, Francis Enfeld, Harry Feinstein, William Fellman, Arlene Felser, Max Finger, Corinne Fiorillo, Norma Michaels Fishman, Edward Frank, Stephen Frank, Francis Friedman, Sylvia Furman Kaplan, Fayanne Gaynor, Lucille Cutler Geller, Ella Gertson, Oscar Gildenhorn, Ida Goffin, Jerome Gold, Barbara Gold, Katie Goldstein, Evelyn Bush Gordon, William Gottlieb, Martha Gottlieb, Judith Greenwald, Sanford Grossman, Stuart Grossman, Gertrude Halpern, Sophia Haspel, Orel Parachia Chassid, Howard Larry Himmelbaum, Judy Hoffman, Florence Heimowitz, Elaine Burroughs-Jacks, Morris Jacobs, Robert Kafker, Rhoda Kahn, Sylvia Coulter, Benita Karp, Shoshana Katz, Michael Kaufman, Libby Keene, Karen Kiki Kelrick, Carl Koppelman, Helene Kraus, Nellie Lightsgold, Eber Levine, Hillary Levine, Robert Levinson, Estelle Lifton, Herbert Littman, Martha Mayer, Randy Malik, Jack Mandel, Henry Mates, Anna Matz, Edward Naklis, Charlotte Podrid, Herman Pollack, Jody Press, Francine Resnick, Helen Richmond, Victor Rosenfeld, Marilyn Ross, Barry Rothberg, Rose Shatner, Morris Schleier, Dr. Leon Schnurr, Stephen Schulman, Sadie Schwartz, Edith Schaefer, Herman Sheikovitz, Dorothy Schur, Frida Schur, Helen C. Schwartz, Marvin Silverman, David Speiser, Beverly Steinberg, Lori Ellen Strauss, Morris Sunshine, Edna Sussman, Miriam Swerdloff Karp, Rhodes Tartaski, Sylvia Trachtenberg, Edith Silman Triber, Karen Wagner, Robert J. Wasserman, Elsie Wegg, Sidney Weiner, Norma Weinstein, Lila Weissman, David Weiss, Renee Wolper, and Gerald Wolpin. And those who've been laid to rest in the past 30 days, Howard Rexler, Daniel Schack, Judith Rips, Eileen Press, Elaine Towley, Beverly Berger, Marguerite Weiner Kaplan, Robert Levy, Mark Gurin, Marcia Gorelnik, Howard Pollack, Jessica Zellermeyer, John Fryer, Karen Henry, and Donna Grubman. If there are others for whom you are saying Kaddish, we invite you to rise now and share the name of your loved one as we go around the congregation. For those of you who are joining us virtually, we invite you to call the names of your loved ones to mind at this time as well. For all of them, we say, Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. We rise now as a community and turn to page 294, as together we say the words of Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shmei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uv'izman kariv v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevarach le'alam u'lamei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei d'kudsha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imromav, huya asei shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the one who sends peace from the high heavens send peace to all of us and comfort the bereaved among us as together we say, amen. We turn now in our books to page 321 as we move to conclude our service with the words of Adon Olam.
And I'd like to give a special thanks to Ron and Raymond in the booth for making this service possible. And so, Rabbi Weissman, if I'm to say to you these next words, I'd be interested to know what the rabbis say in response.
Okay.
Adon Olam,
Adon Olam,
Asher Malach,
Asher Malach,
B'terem Kol,
B'terem Kol,
Yetzir Nivra, Li'et Nasa,
Li'et Nasa,
V'chefso Kol, Azai Melech Shemo Nikra Adon Olam. ואחרי יכלות הכל, לבדו ימלוק נורא אדון עולם, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה אדון עולם, אדון עולם,
אדון עולם,
אשר מלך,
אשר מלך,
בטרם כל יציר נברא, לעת נשא, בחפצו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא אדון עולם.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.